So here are 5 things that you need to know about the spot Bitcoin ETF approval that happened today. So I hope that you guys are all super happy. I know this has been something that a lot of you have been waiting for. I found out with the numerous articles that I've been reading today that there were some of these funds that submitted for their ETF. A lot of people are calling them ETFs. They're actually ETP. So it's instead of a fund, it's actually a product. But nonetheless, a lot of these funds have been submitting and pending approval from the SEC since 2017. So today is a really big day. Again, maybe even just for us in a very minute way, but for these companies, it's been a long time coming. With that being said, here are 5 things that I think that you should know. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. One of the first things that I want to talk about is that there are a total of 11 companies that got approved. I wanted to provide you with a quick little list of these 11 issuers that can start trading as soon as tomorrow. And it says these issuers are anywhere from BlackRock, we have Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, ARK 21 share Bitcoin ETF, Bitwise Bitcoin ETP, we got Wisdom Tree Bitcoin Fund, Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin. I mean, the list goes on, right? So you can find the list online. I want you to be aware. I think there was a total of like nearly 15 or 16 people that submitted their paperwork, 14 to 16, something like that, but only 11 got approved. A majority of them did, which again is a big, big win. The second thing that I want you guys to understand and to take into consideration, because I think it's much more important than people are making it to be. It's Gary Gensler, who's the chair of the SEC. It's this guy that you see right here. I'm going to go ahead and try to zoom in so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. But if you zoom on in, it says, importantly, today's commission action is cabinet on ETP holdings, one non-security commodity, Bitcoin. It should in no way signal the commission's willingness to approve listing standards for crypto asset securities, nor does the approval signal anything about the commission's views on the status of other crypto assets under federal securities law. Pretty much he's saying is we approve these ETPs, but this doesn't mean that we pretty much approve Bitcoin. I think it's just a way to kind of cover. I mean, he's never been a big supporter of Bitcoin, to my understanding, and everything that I've read of Gensler. So I think he's just really trying to shed some light on the uncertainty of what they view Bitcoin as, and that there's still obviously huge risk when it comes down to it. As I've said in the past, and without prejudging of any one crypto asset, the vast majority of crypto assets are investment contracts and thus subject to federal security law. So again, he just makes sure that he reminds everyone that, okay, we approve these 11 ETFs, but it doesn't mean that we still support Bitcoin. I pretty much summarize it in more of like layman's terms, right? The third thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand is I wanted to get your guys' input on this. The SEC, they were going back and forth with Elon Musk. First off, Elon Musk has never liked the SEC. The SEC seems to have never liked Elon Musk. A lot of this happened when Elon Musk would send out tweets before he owned Twitter, and they would go back and forth to see if it was anything that he can get or have to pay a fine on, right? I think that's why Elon Musk now on his Twitter account, it says like parody, just so I guess it's not taken as serious. But it says the SEC tried to blame X, previously known as Twitter, for their hack that they experienced. But then Elon Musk points the finger back to the SEC because the SEC on their Twitter account, now as X, didn't even have two-factor authentication. And it's like, how can you blame the platform when you haven't even taken a simple step for a government-regulated X account to have two-factor authentication? I'm not too sure if you guys heard the news, but supposedly these hackers used the previous number that was used on this Twitter account to gain access, which led to them gaining access and then sending out that fake tweet yesterday that caused all of that uncertainty. I think like once this letter came out that supposedly this approval process was approved by the SEC, everyone was kind of scratching their head and like kind of looking at one another like, okay, wait, is this one real? And I feel like it took some time for Bitcoin, for Coin, for Mara, for them to actually indicate signs of an uptrend because there was still so much uncertainty. The fourth thing that I want you to know is that what is the purpose of these ETFs? What is the benefit, right? Because first off, I'm not someone that focuses or talks much about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. But what does this mean for the crypto space? You need to understand these 11 ETPs, ETFs are now available to be traded and invested in on major platforms as soon as tomorrow. That means people with 401ks can start putting their money into these specific funds. This is huge because it literally just Bitcoin was already popular and talked about among not just everyday people, but also institutions. This adds just another layer of credibility behind the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin asset, in my opinion. And the reason why is, well, now by the SEC, because these 11 ETPs are now approved, now it just shows that, okay, well, they are more credible and legit than what they previously were, 4, 5, 6 years ago, right? So it really supports the case of this whole cryptocurrency movement, or at least makes it a little bit more legit. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you think. The last thing, the fifth thing that I want you to know, and again, I wanted to keep today's video super short and sweet, is there's a common saying, buy the rumors, sell the news. A lot of people are getting very excited, but they're kind of scratching their head of why is Bitcoin not skyrocketing as we expected? Is it because of the fake tweet that was sent out yesterday? Or is it because it was already factored in? The thing that I want to show you very, very quickly, first off, I made $32,701.89. Your boy shorted coin. Your boy went long on coin. Your boy shorted coin once again. I was all over the place. We're shorting, we're going long, we're shorting, we're going long, and I shorted again. I walked away with 32K, just again, giving myself a pat in the back, and made a full comeback 2 days in a row after my green day yesterday, my green day today, and my red day on Monday. We're back in the green, and I'm super happy to have done it on such a significant day. But the thing that I wanted to remind you is, once this came out, it took some time for this thing to really get going. And then once it did, it kind of corrected itself along the way. This doesn't really surprise me, and it's not surprising a lot of experienced traders, but let me remind you why. The buy the rumors, sell the news. This has already been factored in, and it's not that this thing can't go higher for longer. It definitely can, but a lot of people might begin to start taking profit. This has been something that a lot of people have been anticipating. We made a few bucks. I made a few $1,000s. It's nothing in comparison to people that have been invested in, either Bitcoin or coin, the stock itself, or Mara, or any type of stock that has been benefiting from this pending approval process from over, 2 months ago? All of these, from lows of $70, $80, have rallied up to highs of $187. So I want to remind you that people at this point, now that it's confirmed, are maybe going to see if it continues to rally. But if they begin to see that it begins to struggle, it's not going to be much of a surprise if people begin to lock in profits due to the lack of progress on the upside. As again, the news is released, we're going to wait and see if progress is made. And if not, again, you can't be surprised if you see some selling pressure. Now, should the selling pressure concern you, it just depends on what your intention is. Obviously, everyone has different intentions if they intend to invest long term, or if they just want to, buy the lows and sell the highs and then get ready for that overall reversal for it to potentially dip. So just want to make sure that you're aware of both sides. It's not just always rainbows and butterflies after an approval. Sometimes it does, again, really confuse a lot of people, and it's just because people are going to begin to lock in profit and or to potentially take profits. It doesn't mean that it has to happen. I just want to make sure that I talk about this in advance so you're not surprised if it does. Remember, we don't just like to talk about best case scenario, we also like to prepare for worst case scenario. So again, this is something that I cover every single day during my live trading sessions. I trade live every single morning and work with one team, and it's only for complete beginners. So if you're someone that really wants to get started in the stock market but doesn't know how, I would encourage you, take 2 minutes, click the second link in the description down below. I trade live with my LPP team every single morning, and it's 50% off right now, which is our biggest sale. It's not going to be 50% off for much longer. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, and if you sign up tonight, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. So I appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Tomorrow is the CPI data report that I will be live streaming on this channel, and all you have to do is subscribe and drop a thumbs up. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.